I am good to go. Brodey, welcome to... Oh, I shouldn't say just Brodey. I should say thank you, everyone, for joining Brodey and myself in episode 3 of Did You Save Podcast, a video game podcast about video games. What's going on, Brodey?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I
know. I know. Last week we were doing something else, and the week before, we're gonna try video games this week.
What's up, fam?
Brodey, let's get a little intro going. What's going on? What have you been up to the past couple weeks? How are you? Talk to me. What's up?
Hello. For everyone watching the video, as you can see, I have gone through a life-changing experiment of converting myself to an 8-bit character.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, it's wild. It's really a thrill. No, I am traveling right now, safely traveling, because I have time off from work. So I am not on video today, but I'm still happy to be here talking with you and with everyone.
Cool. That sounds like fun. I definitely need to get some traveling in.
It has been very nice to.
I'm very envious of your quests right now.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. Same thing with me, just working and gaming. I wish I had more. I think in the future, once we could start doing more things, then I'll have more for this little intro section. But as of right now, it's just basically just, things kind of just going on at the shop, and I got a new mouse pad.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Just for
hey, you've had some pretty big milestones, these past couple weeks.
No, for the company, that was really fun. For Wormwood, Wormwood hit top 10 all time on Kickstarter, so that's great. We came in close to $9 million, and that's not even with backer kit, so that's pretty wild. We became Discord partners. It doesn't mean too much, but it's still pretty cool.
It's still really cool.
Yeah, so that was exciting. So yeah, no, I try to stay away from like Wormwood stuff, but that kind of just like is my life and just things going on right now. So I guess we'll just throw those out there. They're pretty fun things.
At least with the Discord, it's a community that you're helping build.
Exactly.
So it's a lot to do.
It's cool. It's like a testament to the community becoming partner. It's less about the perks and more of just like, hey fam, look how far we've come type thing. Yeah. Which is really cool.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Cool. So Brodey, what are you playing right now? I know, we got our normal games that we're always playing. Are you playing anything? Mm-hmm. Hold on, sorry, I gotta turn off my thing. What are you working on right now besides like, our usual gaming? Anything fun, anything new?
So there hasn't been anything relatively like new for me.
Okay.
So for what I'm going to be talking about this time, it is a game that I kind of come and go from, and then I also stream a little bit of. And because of a new update that came out today, I want to talk about it. And that's my glorious Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. Ooh, I'm excited for this one. Tell me what you got.
Beat Saber is it's so good. Beat Saber, for anyone who doesn't know, is a rhythm VR game where you literally hold 2 lightsabers and you are slashing notes as they come into the rhythm or the tune of a song. So in this game, you can have all of the songs that are built into the game, or if you're playing on PC, you can bring in like modded songs. So you can have like anime openings, like Disney songs, like everything. It's so good. And you can customize like the sabers, you can customize the colors. It's honestly one of like, it is like the top game that I recommend for someone playing in VR. Like if you're like, oh, what is like the quintessential VR experience? I'm like, shut up, it's Beat Saber.
Yeah. Dude, it was so cool seeing like the custom when I was watching you stream it, dude, there was like custom sabers and just like the animations they do and everything, and it's such a blast. As someone that I'm sorry. So good. As someone that grew up with like rhythm games like, Guitar Hero, DDR and stuff like that, I never got to Beat Saber just because I don't do any like virtual reality stuff, yet. Yeah. But Yeah, no, Beat Saber is just so interesting to me, and I always enjoy watching you play and just watching people play in general. Very cool game.
It's a blast. Yeah,
So,
you
so
can
tell
do
us about
so
the
much with it.
tell us about the updates and stuff.
So they just released their first multiplayer update.
Interesting.
I think there was a mod that allowed you to do multiplayer in some fashion, but it didn't work very well. So I don't think it was even supported like as of recently. And with every update, all the mods have to change, which sucks, but this is how it works. But they just released their own supported multiplayer where you can I don't know exactly how it works yet because I haven't tried it, but I believe you can like play synchronized with another person, and then you can like try to compare scores and try to beat the other person and stuff.
Sure. I figured it would work like any other, rhythm co-op,
you
mode.
have this little floating avatar, and I think you can like look over and see the person they're like
slashing
the block.
Cool. That's a cool little thing.
I think that's what it looks like in the trailer.
All right. Well, you'll have to keep us posted as time goes on.
I will definitely be trying it once I get back to Boston for sure.
That's awesome. That sounds like fun.
I'm so excited. What you been playing?
So I brought this up last podcast that I was looking forward to the new East game. Yes. And naturally, since I was looking forward to it, it came out and now I'm playing it. East, pronounced East, looks like YS. Really fun game, action role-playing game by Falcom. East is actually a series that's been around for a while. I think I mentioned this last time. It's been around since, I don't know, like the late 80s or something. It's a very, very Japanese sleeper game. It's pretty big over there, and they're slowly starting to get over to the States. Just whatever localization team wants to, take them on. We got the one that I was introduced to the series with was East 8, which came out on the Switch. I believe it was on the PS4 prior, and it was such a great game. And I was like, this series is great. This is the 8th one in the series. Let me go try a couple more. And then East Origins came to the Switch, and I was like, hell yeah. I've been waiting for a new East game. It was perfect time, and picked it up. It's great. The artwork is great. It's trying to compare it to something. Kind of gives you I don't want to compare it to Chrono Trigger, but it just to give you like sort of an image of what this game kind of looks like. You start off the game, you can choose between either a magic bearer or a physical type character. I forget the name of the girl. The girl is the one that does like the swords in the close combat. I picked my character's name is Hugo Fact, Fact, the Fact family. He's like the magic bearer. It's really not too much. It's basically, rather than you just picture like a little pixel character like swiping in front of you, as opposed to pushing out magic, which covers a little more square. The magic character is a little slower, but gets more range, crap like that. It's really fun. It's purely action based. So you're just like running around. You're in this tower, and you're actually climbing to the top of the tower. I was a little upset at first because I was in this tower and I was like, everything about this game is so beautiful. I can't wait for it to open up. Like, I thought you were gonna get out of this. I thought this was just like the first area, and it's like, all right, yeah, you get out of the dungeon, then like it opens up into this world. But the whole game is actually you climbing the tower, which is interesting. So like you can like fast travel between floors. There's like 30 floors or something like that. I think I'm on like floor like 18 or something right now. So I was a little upset when I found out that I was just confined to this like tower. But I didn't let that. Once I found that out, I was like, all right, whatever. I was sad for a second, and then I absorbed it, and then I accepted it, and then I was like, all right, time to move on and just enjoy the game for what it is. For all I know, maybe I get to the end and it opens up or something happens. So I'm not done yet, but I'm a good, I want to say like 15, 20 hours in. So it's a good chunk. The pacing is amazing. The music's amazing. The art's great. The best part about this game to me so far has been the boss battles. The boss battles have been so much fun. The best part about them is each one takes me around 20 to 25 attempts, and not one time was I upset. Because it was very fair. It was very fair. I was like, okay, this isn't frustrating at all. it's just like, ooh, it's just like, oh, I'll get it next time, you know, like the boss battles were so well done, and I love everything about them. This is a great game. I think it's like 15-20 bucks on the eShop. I definitely recommend, you know, anyone that's looking for a quick pickup, you know, little action game. It's fun. Recommend it.
Sounds like a blast.
Hell yeah. So yeah, that's what we're currently working on. Is there any games coming up that you're looking forward to that haven't been released yet?
Yes.
What's on your mind?
There is.
Talk to me.
So there is a game that I got to play for the first time at PAX East in February.
Okay.
It was called The Pathless.
The Pathless. Tell me about The
excited.
Pathless. I've been checking out this game.
Yeah, The Pathless is a game from Giant Squid, who also made Abzu, which is like the sea exploration game.
Oh, no crap. No,
And
now that
then
I think about the games in my head,
they
it
look
makes
very
sense.
similar.
It makes
They look
sense.
very
Okay.
similar. Yep. And I believe the publisher is like, it's Annapurna something. I can't remember exactly. But
Okay.
basically, you are this hunter, and you have this magic bow, and you have an eagle. And the whole game is built around this super cool mobility system where you're shooting different targets with the bow, and you can speed up, and like the more you're shooting targets, the faster you go. You can hang on to the eagle to fly around. It's this big open island world, and it's all about this different like mobility and utilizing the bow and the eagle. And then like the core of the game is there is this dark curse taking over the island. You basically need to solve like the problems, or you need to like solve the puzzles and the issues of the island by exploring, opening up different areas. And then I believe there are these like big like shadow creature boss fights that I've only seen like hints of in the trailers and stuff. But the style looks beautiful. It looks like Abzu and kind of like Breath of the Wild mixed together.
Really
and
cool.
then the music is beautiful. The music was so good. Like I was sitting there playing for the 15 minutes at PAX. I'm just like wiggling. Like it was so much fun. And yeah, it just looks overall amazing. I believe it comes out November 12th for current gen. Yeah,
No shit.
I don't know if it's launching next gen because it would make sense because November 12th is also the PS5 release date, I believe.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know if it is launching next gen. I know it's confirmed for current, but not next. But it is coming out on next eventually. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. It looks beautiful, and with a developer like Giant Squid, I'm sure they're gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing that game for a while now at PAX, and this should be a fun one.
It was like the one game I think I waited for like 2 hours to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
often.
I don't often sit in the lines.
Me neither. That was the only one.
So yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So kind of on the opposite spectrum when it comes to, you know, graphics and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to a game called Sports Story. It is I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Golf Story. Man, is that game fun. It kind of reminds me of an old school Mario Tennis, Mario Golf / game, and specifically the Game Boy ones. The ones for the systems weren't the ones for the handhelds were very RPG, and they were so cool. I think they're some of the most underrated games, like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, like the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. They're so good. But Golf Story is a really funny it's a pixel style game with beautiful jazz-like music. It actually has good golfing mechanics, it actually plays well as a golf game. You know, I don't play like any PGA tours or, you know, any of those games. So maybe, you know, a pro would come up to me and be like, "Yeah, dude, you sound like an idiot when you say that game plays well." But I had a blast. It has like RPG elements in it, so you can like upgrade, you know, like your clubs and stuff like that. Picture Happy Gilmore as a video game. That's kind of like what it is. Like you have like this coach who's like hilarious, and he's just like there the whole game just saying like all this ridiculous funny stuff, and there's like little mini games that you can play where you have to do you have to throw like frisbees, and it's not like just golf, you know. So it's just great. It's just like this little pixelated fun RPG golf game that adds RPG elements, great music, humor, and everything about it is great. And now they announced, I want to say around like a year ago this time, they announced Sports Story, which is, I think, I don't want to say the sequel, maybe like the spiritual successor in a way, where it's all sports. So it's going to have like, it's going to be a similar style game, but it's going to have, tennis, hockey, golf, baseball, soccer, whatever it may be. And I've been looking forward to this for so long, and they announced recently that they were delaying it. It was supposed to be out in the summer.
Gotcha.
I don't think they have a new release date, but I'm still really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I've looked a little bit at that game.
Oh, it's a blast, man. It's on the Switch. You can grab it for cheap. Dude, like look at any review for the game. You'll see they're all just amazing.
That's so cool, especially being such like not like a super well-known title.
And the thing is too, like I recommend it to not even just sports people or golf people, like itself, and it deserves its own right to be just like a fun, little RPG game in itself. Yes, that's what definitely some good games we're looking forward to.
There's some good games coming up.
What's a game that you would recommend to someone that they may not know about? We'll call this the sleeper game. What's a sleeper game you would recommend to someone? Maybe they haven't played it, but or maybe someone hasn't heard of it, but you definitely recommend it. What do you got?
My sleeper game this time is a little RPG called For the King, and I think you know
For
this
the
game.
King.
Yeah,
we were just talking about this recently.
We were just talking. And
that's awesome. Tell us about it.
For the King is like a little strategy RPG where you have a party of 3 players, and it almost works like a combination of Civilization and I'm not sure, just like a turn-based RPG. So you have this map that's broken up into different, like it's a hex grid, so there's different areas, and you have to travel with your party throughout the map, and then each grid has like items, it has an encounter, it has something, and then you have to complete quests, you have to loot and like gear up and kind of like level up your characters, and it's a blast. So you can play with up to 3 people. Each person is a different class, so there's like the fighter, they're kind of like spins on different like classic classes. So there's like the herbalist is like the healer. I think there's like a monk. There's a couple of different things. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's online co-op, so you can play with up to 3 people. And there's also different modes. So there's like the classic story mode where you go into this world and you have like a certain amount of quests and you have to beat the big baddie basically. But then there's like dungeon run modes where you go into specific dungeons and it's like encounter after encounter after encounter. So it's not a lot of like leveling up and like exploring. It's just kind of like focused on the combat. And now I believe there's even like different areas too. So there's like a tundra. I think there's a fully based like sea exploration one. So you're controlling a boat and you have to fight like the Kraken and stuff. It's a blast. I believe it's Iron Oak Games as developer. You can get it on Steam for relatively cheap, and it's a really fun game to hop into with some friends, kill like 8 hours of your day, and just have like a fun run with it.
That's awesome. And I don't know if it still is, but I believe that was free on Xbox Game Pass, which is pretty cool.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, if anyone has Game Pass, and
there you go.
Seems like a fun game to check out, and I think it's on like all the consoles too.
Probably, yeah.
So my game, our randomly generated game, I got Onimusha Tactics. And Onimusha Tactics really got me thinking about a sleeper game that I would recommend to anyone that's a fan of Pokemon or Fire Emblem. The game is called Pokemon Conquest. It is on the Nintendo DS, and it is so good. Literally, and picture, I think the official mix, like the official, why can't I think of the word for it? When 2 games mesh together, cross, whatever.
Like a genre blend.
It was Pokemon meets Nobunaga's Ambition, like that series. And the Nobunaga. I'm kind of new to this. I'm pretty sure that is the big baddie in Onimusha Tactics.
Ooh.
So I'm still like learning about like the Onimusha and Nobunaga games and all that stuff. So if I'm wrong on like anything, I apologize. I'm learning, but I'm enjoying it. Play Pokemon Conquest. Like literally, how I can compare this or describe this game would be like Pokemon Fire Emblem. It's so good. Like you take your Pokemon and you got your grid style where you're moving everyone around like a tactics game. It's like the isometric view, and you can level up your Pokemon, you can evolve them. It's just like I'd call it like the gym leaders or the leaders, there's like different areas that you have to take over, and those kind of act like as gym leaders and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's just really cool. Basically, to sum it up, it's literally Pokemon Fire Emblem. It's on the Nintendo DDS, and I recommend it. It's so good. I've beaten it.
Like a blast.
I've beaten it twice. The last recent I want to say was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Pokemon Conquest. It's so good. It might be a tough.
The DS for it.
I think it definitely aged pretty well for the most part. I mean, those games, the tactics games, they're pretty straightforward, so they all age pretty well for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably cop it for like $25-$30 at a GameStop, maybe, if they still have it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I recommend it. So yeah, where our main topic this week. Brodey and I, we wanted to talk about something very broad, and I think I think the topic will kind of find itself. We're going to talk about Twitch and gaming on Twitch. And I feel like that can be broken down into a million different things, but I don't want to break it down into a million different things. I want to just throw it out there and just hear what you have to say. Like, what does it mean?
What sticks.
Maybe like, what does it mean to you? What is it? Like, what is Twitch? What is gaming on Twitch? What does it mean to you? What do you think of when I say that, Twitch?
Twitch is wild. there are so many things that Twitch has become, and at its core, like what actually built Twitch up is gaming. Creators forming a community around people watching them game. First it was YouTubers and YouTuber gamers making these Let's Play videos, and then Let's Play videos turned into, oh, you're gonna watch me in like the live action or like the live Let's Play, basically. And it's so weird. Like, even like trying to describe the fact that you sit there for hours watching someone play games to someone who doesn't is so interesting. Like, when I first explained that to my parents, it's like, yeah, I just I'm been watching people games live and just like talking with people and do you know these people? Like, no, they're just random people in chat. They're like, well, why do you watch the person? Like, oh, because they're entertaining, Right. It's so interesting getting that outside view of what gaming on Twitch is, and just like Twitch in general. But it is crazy. It's crazy.
It's so much. There's so many things to say. It's just like,
yeah.
What was the first thing you watched on Twitch? Do you remember? Like, what brought you to Twitch? Can you remember? Like, was it like someone you followed that's like, hey, come watch me on Twitch? Was it like a community, a YouTuber? Was it just you downloading it and checking it out? Was it a friend that needed support, so you're just like, oh yeah, I'll create an account to support them streaming? Like, what? Can you remember what brought you there?
That's a good question. I think the first thing I ever saw on Twitch was like Twitch plays Pokemon.
No shit.
Or one of those things. Like, it came up on like an article or something, and I clicked, and it was like, oh, this is a community of people playing a game together. And then that kind of like sprung out into me finding different people on Twitch and stuff.
Interesting. My I mean, I've always known about Twitch being in the gaming community. What actually brought me to Twitch, like actually, like physically picked me up and placed me there was my best friend Ricky. He you guys know him as Sleazy Ace. He used to stream a lot, and this was, you know, he probably first started maybe like, I don't know, like 4 years ago, and maybe even longer. And, you know, obviously, like, I'm gonna support, you know, my friend that's like doing their thing. And now, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw on a friend. And next thing I'm like watching my friend play, and I'm like, holy crap, this kid's really good. Like it's like entertaining to watch him. Like he does competitive like FPSs and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like he's really good. This is fun. And you know, obviously I'm not sitting there watching pros. I don't have a lot to compare to and stuff like that. But so next thing you know, I'm just like, oh, you know, this guy has like 20,000 viewers. I'll put him on. And then I'm watching gameplay of this guy, and I'm just like, holy Toledo, like.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm on Twitch, like I'm kind of like locked in. So I, you know, next thing I know, I'm browsing Twitch, and I'm like, you know, okay, I'm a Mario fan. Let me look at Mario. Next thing you know, I'm looking at, you know, Super Mario 64 speedruns, and now I'm in love with speedruns. So now I'm going over to Metroid. I'm watching Metroid speedruns. I'm going over to Zelda. I'm watching Zelda speedruns, and it's just like, you know, it was just that initial thing that got me onto Twitch that just opened up this like, and then you just see like what's on Twitch. It's just it doesn't end there. It's just like there's competitive gameplay, there's talk shows, there's podcasts, there's speed running, there's communities, there's fundraising events, there's insert anything here, and it's just like it's such a wild experience. Like community is, you know, some you'll see some. You know, and then there's the chats, you know, which is like
it's a whole different world. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Twitch is just like it's such like this big thing, dude. And when you call it, it's almost becoming like, because like obviously there were, you know, Let's Players doing, you know, the YouTube stuff, and you know, bringing it over to Twitch where it's just like, you know, you get to see live Let's Plays and stuff. And it's just like this whole different dichotomy. It's just like you get to interact with the person that you're watching. You get to interact with the people, similar people. Because, you know, if you're watching a Super Mario 64 speedrunner, chances are the people in that chat like similar things to you, you know?
They should.
You know, so it's just like, I don't know. It's like this just never ending black hole of just like possibilities, communities, content, and just wild stuff. And it's just interesting to see like what, you know, kind of where it all began for some people, why they're here, why do they continue to watch it, like what so where do you find yourself on Twitch nowadays? Like what do you just like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you know, you make your coffee, you're doing work, like myself, like I literally just throw Twitch on like it's television, you know? Like I'll just
so I was gonna I was gonna like hop in, and you're right. It's like every facet of like gaming specifically, and now like entertainment in general is now covered on Twitch.
Exactly.
It's a huge reflection of the times too, for everything that's going on, and for people needing like a digital world essentially where they can continue doing what they're doing. I mean, it's one of the reasons like I started streaming was because it was right in the beginning when all this happened, and I was like, hey, like I've wanted to do it for a while, like there's no better time to do it, right? But it has created this world where we can all continue to interact digitally and be together. But to your point, so like I'm almost the same. Like I'll wake up in the morning usually, and then if I'm working, I will have one monitor with all my stuff, you know, my coffee, and then I'll usually put on I don't want to say like mindless, because it sounds mean, but I'll put on like kind of one of like the bigger like one of the bigger streamers that I can just like listen to and be like entertained. So like one of my guilty pleasures is listening to Tim the Tatman play like Warzone. Just because it's funny, it's easy, it's entertaining. They basically just like talk shit to each other, and they just play a game. And then he's been playing like some Warzone and stuff recently. And then like I'll watch Dr. Lupo. He's pretty entertaining as well. He'll run Tarkov, so that's a lot of fun to watch. Or if there's a smaller person on at the time that just seems more appealing, I'll just throw it on just to have it going. Because with that happening, it still feels like, even if I'm not talking in chat, it still feels like I'm kind of part of it, being there, watching this happening or listening to it happening live while I'm also working or doing whatever I'm doing in the morning. So it kind of like, it might not be productive, but it makes me feel at least like I'm kind of productive,
No, definitely.
Or at least doing multiple things.
I find, it's literally like browsing through television,
It really is.
Like
really is.
during the day while I'm working, I'll have like you said, you have someone like Tim on. I'll have my background stream on, probably like some competitive gaming or something. Where it's just like I'm not. It's just like it's perfect to have in the background. I'm not fully invested. Sometimes, then I'll see a friend sign on. And then next thing you know, I'm moving over there and I'm saying what up.
Exactly.
Talking to the people in their community. Like when I have a big streamer on, I literally just turn chat off. It's just because like I don't care. And then like a friend comes on, and then I turn chat on. Now I'm interacting, with people like that, and it's just like it's such a wide switch. You can be there for the content, you can be there for the community, you could be there for both. You could be there just for a million different reasons, and
exactly.
It's literally like sitting there. Sometimes it's like you have a remote in your hand, you're just scrolling through the channels. That's sometimes what Twitch feels like, or sometimes it's what you plan your day around. Like I have people like in the Wormwood stream that are that's a 5 days a week scheduled thing, and the same people are there consistently because it's like it's turned into like a part of people's lives, just being
absolutely.
This is why I didn't even want to like have a main topic. I just wanted to like just throw
really
it out there because it's just it's so much,
Twitch really has become like part of our lives. Like we view it, we listen to it, and now like mostly you are in like the deep end of it too, being partnered and like kind of obviously like we both stream as our like affiliate channels too, but I feel like that's just like touching the edge of the water basically.
It's wild. I actually like I was saying, the Discord just became partnered, and there's like a Discord partner channel, and I actually just found out the same day that there's been a partnered Twitch partnered Discord that I had no idea about.
No, really?
Yeah, and then I go into that, and then next thing you know, you're starting your networking all like from square one.
That's crazy.
It's just like, oh hey, here's a channel with like 1 billion partners in it and everything, and it's just like holy shit.
Like for like a year and a half.
you introduce yourself, and then next thing you know, you got like 20 people just being like, hey, what's up? Oh, I want to check out your content, la la la, and then. Now,
That's
next
awesome.
thing you know, I'm making, all these new friends, people wanting to do like new content and stuff like that. I'm just like, holy crap. It's just, man, it's a lot.
Yeah, that opens up like a huge door for opportunities. Like,
that's why it's a freaking multi-billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whew. All right, let's take a little break on Twitch for now. Let's
we can come back if we want.
Let's ease it up with our random funny question of the week, just to tone it down after a hot topic.
Okay, all right.
So last week, you picked the funny question, and now it is my week.
Oh boy.
Brodey, if you were a potato, what way would you like to be cooked? I'm totally kidding. I'm totally joking. All right, the real question.
Can I answer it anyway? I do sweet potato with maple butter.
Okay. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the real question, not that wasn't a great question. And I come in with the good ones.
That was hot. That was coming in hot.
You ready for this?
No, but go.
You have to wear a t-shirt with one word on it for 1 year. Which word do you choose?
What? That's not the word.
Just one word. Just one word. Every day you gotta wear it. What is that word?
Oh man. So for me, I'm a t-shirt guy. Like I'm a graphic tee guy. Like I have my superhero shirts. I got like the D&D shirts, like the funny shirts and everything. So if I'm wearing a shirt with one word on it, I definitely wouldn't play it like safe. Like it would have to be something not like spicy, but like you walk by me and you're like, that's funny. Like that's all I want. That's all I want. Oh no.
Yield.
The yield. Or just like, the breathe out of your nose laugh. That's fine too.
My signature laugh.
Damn, that's hard. Can we compact Bud Light Seltzer into one word?
What about just seltzer?
Seltzer. No, just Bud Light Seltzer.
It's gotta be one. I want one word out of you. What do we got?
Just balls.
Balls?
No.
just with a
balls.
Z. With a Z.
Yeah, with a Z.
All right.
That's so hard. You've thought about this. You must have been thinking about it. Do you have an answer?
A little bit. I think I would stick to something nerdy, just so like, right. If I'm forced to wear this shirt every day and I'm walking by people, it's just like, all right, hopefully I can at least connect with someone.
Yeah.
Maybe just something like gamer or just like nerd.
Just nerd.
Loser. Written right across. Then I'll just get it tattooed on my forehead, all the good stuff.
So this is like a black t-shirt, white text, right? This
sure,
is like super plain.
Or flipped, whatever.
Yeah.
White shirt, black text, whatever.
Be like a POW, like a superhero, like comic
No
POW.
animation, nothing, just raw, just as raw as it gets,
Imagine a GIF on a t-shirt. That's the feature.
Or you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would go something with just like games. Like I love the
games.
One of my favorite sweatshirts is the PAX ones. They literally just say either board games or video games, and it's so raw and I love it.
I love them.
So mine would either be like games or like nerd or just something along those lines. So it's just like, all right, or now I'm trying to think like what funny one I would have.
Right. I'm thinking something. So I think nerd would be a good one. That's like a safe answer.
Maybe just like kek. Just kek.
Like pog.
Just pog. Just perma-pog.
Perma-pog.
Right across my chest. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking like something like donuts.
Donuts? Love it.
Donuts.
That's a good one.
Or like coffee. I don't know. Something
I like donuts.
Donuts.
I'm helping you. I'm helping you lock that one in. Let's go.
With donuts.
All right. We're a little loosey goosey now. So one of our favorite bits Brodey and I like to do is we will take a random game from an older console. We normally like to keep it, before maybe like, 2005-ish. I think games before 2005, we can obtain them, whether it's, through our local game store, emulating or whatever. And a lot of them you don't necessarily need to, play the whole game to get the full experience. So what we do is we pick a random game and we'll play it for, maybe 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, just so we get a feel for it and we can talk about it with everyone. Brodey's randomly generated game last week was a game called Surf's Up.
Surf's Up, baby.
For the Game Boy Advance. Brodey, can you tell us a little how do you feel about Surf's Up? Tell us about
it. Stick to the movie.
Done. Okay. Moving on.
That's all I got. No. Oh man, what a ride. I will preface this.
What a ride?
Yeah. I will preface this with saying that it was better than Family Dog, at least.
Okay, that's good.
I played it for longer than Family Dog, and so to give the summary first, it's Oh, God. It's so there's like it is an adaptation of the Surf's Up movie. So you have Cody the penguin and Chicken Joe, and I can't even remember the girl's name already. I think it was like Lola or something like that.
Right.
And it's all about surfing penguins and animals on this hidden island or something.
Ooh.
And there's
tropical.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's like the main mode, which is your championship, and it's races and freestyle. So you race the other animals, or you do freestyle and like rack up the most amount of points. The controls are super simple. It's like A to jump, and then in the air you just spam A and you just do tricks and
right.
B is boost. You can slap other people off their boards with the triggers.
Ooh.
And then you just have the control pad to move up and down and left and right.
Now, does this game support link cable 2-player?
I don't think I saw an option for multiplayer at all.
So what you're telling me is I can't kick your butt in this game.
I would destroy you first off because
my
I'm
God.
now the world's best Surf's player, and it's been proven. On my game, it says the leaderboard is just me, so it's clearly shows
Right. The old like 3 initial type thing,
Bro is
and you just
top.
do like ass or something, you know, or butt.
Exactly, butt with the 1T. But yeah, it's like it's exactly what you'd expect. It's like a clunky game, and each section of the levels are like 5 seconds long because the Game Boy Advance can't handle like loading them all. So you surf for like 5 seconds, it blacks out, it comes back in, you surf for another 5 seconds, and it's so funny. The music was nightmarish because it was all like pixelated or like 8-bit, and it just didn't really work. And there are these little mini games that you can play too, and one was like
I love mini games.
There was like, it's not like Tetris, but you have to like match, there's like falling icons of the character players, and you have to match 3 in a row and then they disappear. Problem is it like doesn't stop. You have to like tactically get it to stop because it's completely random. So I have like a 2 stack of the one character left. I'll get another character and a different character and a different character. The game basically reset itself.
So I'm curious, did Ubisoft publish this or develop it?
It was Ubisoft publishing. I can't remember who developed it, unfortunately.
It's probably not important.
No, I doubt it. But they probably were like, hey, make this movie adaptation of a game.
Yeah, it's similar to just like, okay, there's this popular game. I mean, there's this popular movie, make a game to it. Similar to like the E.T. game back in the day.
Exactly.
It's just like, this is popular right now. We need something by Christmas. Make it happen.
We need something to put out. It'll probably make like $50, but it's fine. Just do it. But yeah, I can confirm I'm a Chicken Joe main. I racked up a ridiculous combo with Chicken Joe. He's like a stoner chicken, and it's fucking hilarious. It's so good. I don't even know if I have anything else left. I think I covered everything. I give it like, what are we doing? At a 5-star rating? I give it?
Let's do a 10. Let's do 1 out of 10. It gives a little more, a little more feel.
I'd give it a 2.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's not.
It's not
as bad
terrible.
as I thought.
If I had to
like
play
a 1.
if I had to play it again, I would. Unlike Family Dog, it was terrible.
Okay.
Like you could sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes and shred some Gnar waves, without going insane. That's my review.
Gnarly.
Shred that Gnar.
So my game was Onimusha Tactics. A little a little 180 from what you were working with.
Huge 180.
This one's a little tough. Just because tactics games like this, they're a little deeper, and that's really it. They're a little deeper. So I hate trying to judge a game off of just playing it for, I think I put like 2 hours, maybe like 2.5 or so. I was having fun with it. It really doesn't do anything much different than your typical tactics game. Like I was talking about earlier with Pokemon Conquest, it's similar to that. You got your grid style. If you ever played Final Fantasy Tactics, if you ever played Fire Emblem, more specifically the Game Boy Fire Emblem games, when you just picture just like that little map with a grid on it, and you just you have your units. You can choose your units that you put into battle. I think I ended off with around 6 units. I normally put in like 4 per battle, just because they were the I don't know if you'd call it like min-maxing or not, but I was just like kind of focusing on the characters that I wanted to grow, and then I was just kind of getting rid of the other ones. But yeah, it's your typical tactics game. It's really fun. It follows I've never played anything in the Onimusha series. Like I've seen them before. That was very popular back on the PS2, and I believe it ties in with Nobunaga, like what I was saying earlier. I'm not too sure. I'd have to like complete the game and look into like the series more to kind of really understand what's going on. I apologize for my lack of knowledge on the Onimusha and the Nobunaga series. Especially when I was just saying how one of my sleeper games is a combination of Pokemon and the Nobunaga's ambition. But that's when I was actually first introduced to the Nobunaga. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm gonna sound like a jackass when that's wrong. That's when I was first introduced to it, when Pokemon Conquest came out. I forget when it was. Right. I want to say around like 2009, 10, 11 ballpark. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm sure there's a deeper, slightly deeper system the more you get into it. But basically, what I can tell you based off what I played was that it's just a fun little tactics game. If you know the series, I'm sure like the character interactions and the combos mean a lot more. It starts off, you're this character. What was my name? It was similar to the title, Onimusha. It was like Onimaru, I believe, was my main character's name. And like the game starts off, you're off training, and then you come back to your town and it's being taken over and ransacked by like these demon things, and obviously you fight them, and then that kind of starts off the game. Basically how it works is you'll do a battle, and then you'll go to this map where it's just kind of like your typical map where you just go from like dot to dot, and then it's divided into episodes. So you go from dot 1 to dot 2, then it'll be like episode 2, blah 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 blah. Then a cutscene will happen. Then you go into battle. You win the battle, and then you go to the next dot, and then it's like episode 3, da 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 da, and then it so on and so forth. It's fun. Playing it made me. That's a big reason to why the Pokemon Conquest was my sleeper, was just because like playing it made me want to go back to games like Final Fantasy Tactics and Pokemon Conquest. It was fun. Didn't seem to do anything too special. There weren't like deep classes or anything like Final Fantasy Tactics had, but I could see it being fun, and I'm probably not going to dish out more time into it. But as of right now, I give it like a solid 6-7 out of 10.
All right, that's good.
I think
it's definitely a deep game to jump into for one of these random
that's
things.
why it was
like,
tough for this game. All right, cool. So we're gonna do our next game. Brodey and I decided on the N64.
Hell yeah!
For our next one, we already did the letters. Brodey got H and I got D. And we're gonna do the picking live, so we can get a fun little reaction. All right, so Brodey, you got H. We're gonna go to H. I'm working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 in front of me.
That's right.
So
there's not a lot, right?
Yeah, the N64 didn't have a lot. I believe it was 296, 297 total games, and
it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's such like a revolutionary console too. Like so much came out of it.
For real.
It's weird.
I like to describe the N64 as very top heavy. Like the gems on the N64, they were gems, like absolute 8, 9, gems, 10s,
Exactly.
And then everything after that was just like 4s and below, I feel like there was no mid.
Right.
So we gave you a random number generator. What did I say for the number? What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4,
7.
7. Okay. So it's gonna be 7. And you actually got 7. And it is a game called Hydro Thunder by Midway. That's interesting.
No way.
Do you
Hydro Thunder?
Do you know that game?
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh my god. I don't think I've played the N64 version, but Hydro Thunder
is it a fighting game?
It's a racing game.
It's a racing because it's made by, it's published by Midway.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a speedboat racing game, but I played the Hydro Thunder like arcade game version like all the time.
All right, so you played it. Would you like another one?
I think I'll play it. I'll see if the N64
All right, cool.
is any different.
No, actually, I want you to play because I want you to tell me and everyone else about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So I got D. Let's see what we got here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 12 to choose from. So my D. All right. I got Diddy Kong Racing. I'm gonna re-roll because I think we all know a lot about Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah. I played a lot of Diddy Kong Racing.
All right, cool. I got Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck.
Yes.
I've never played this game, and I'm already looking forward to it.
Let's go.
All right, so we got. Let me just jot these down right here. This should be fun. So we got Duck.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Duck Dodgers, starring Daffy Duck.
Played.
And you got. It was
Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder. So Hydro Thunder and Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck for the N64. Those will be our next games to talk about.
I love the N64. This is gonna be so much fun.
So all right. So our top three. I think this was the first week where we did a poll up on the Twitter. Yes. Follow the Twitter. Did you save PC? We put up a little vote based off suggestions, and the highest voted one was top 3 video game soundtracks. That's a heavy one. That's a heavy one, man. Woo!
So heavy. This was beyond difficult to even like. I can't even confirm that this is my top 3.
I know, dude.
It's my top 3 like right now.
It's so hard. It's so hard because then you're just like, crab leg. There was. This could change. Maybe we revisit this one way down the line. But for now, let's see what we're working with. Out of curiosity, sure. Did you happen to get down any like honorable mentions, or did you just focus on the 3?
I could definitely list some off, 100%, like off the top of my head.
All right, if you got 2 honorable mentions, let me hear them, and I'll hit you with mine.
Off the top of my head, I will go with God of War.
Great. Are you talking the most recent one with like Bear? Yeah.
The soundtracks and the other ones are great, but it's more just like action music.
Sure.
The soundtrack for the newest one was much more emotional. And then I will go with. Oh, this is so hard.
Here, I'll trade you while you think.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One of my honorable mentions was Celeste.
That's a really good choice.
Oh man, Celeste is so good. My favorite part about the Celeste soundtrack was it traveled with you, the soundtrack. So like when you're starting a new area, it starts off easy, and as the area gets more intense, as you start climbing the mountain more, the soundtrack builds with you, and it gets faster. It just gets more intense, and it's just. I can't say enough good things about Celeste.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be the problem too with my list, is like the reason for each one is almost the same, because that's kind of just like what a good soundtrack is,
Right.
But my oh man, I think I'll give it to, I'm choosing between like 3 different ones, but I think I'm going to stick with the Will of the Wisps.
Ori? Oh, thank God you said Ori, because Ori, it wasn't in my top 3, man. But
it was almost in mine.
Dude. It's like top 10, top 15 for me.
Being newer, the soundtrack is still very fresh in my mind.
Oh man, what a great soundtrack!
It's so good.
All right, let's get into it. What do you got for number 3?
So for my number 3, we might even have some same ones.
I guarantee we do.
We might. My number 3 is going to be Undertale.
My number 3 is Undertale.
Let's go! That's so funny.
I'm not joking. My number 3 is Undertale.
I had to include it in there. Like, I think we've recently talked about this too. Like, everyone knows Megalovania from Undertale. It is like now the meme song, right?
Yep.
But every single, like
I'll be
every
honest with
single,
you, that's not even my favorite track in the game.
Not my favorite song. It's not my favorite song either. 100%. It's like every song, every area, every fight has its own style. It has its own feel, and it really like takes hold of what 16-bit music can do. Like you have the blend of different melodies, this cool like synthwave style that Toby Fox managed to produce, and like every song and every track in this game just like makes me want to smash my head through the monitor and go into the world.
Oh
like,
my god, man.
It's so good. It's so good.
I couldn't get over it. There were times when we were playing on stream and we just got to a new area, and it would hit me like a brick. You know, it's not like I was doing it to be like entertaining or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like these songs hit me, and I was just like, no, like you're doing this, like, yo, this is hard. Like
you have to like sit
this
there
is
and
not
literally
normal.
soak it
Like,
in and just like listen to the music before moving on. Like it's so
heavy.
heavy.
Much, man.
For such a I don't want to call it a simple game, but for like such a simple game, like the music takes such a toll on you.
Oh man, it really just hit different, dude.
It does.
It just really makes you respect like what like 16-bit music can still be doing today.
It makes me respect the fuck out of Toby Fox. Like this one guy.
Without saying.
I know there was some like there were a few people also involved in the project.
Sure,
this is Toby Fox's
It's
game,
Toby Fox's. It's his baby. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then like don't even get me started with like Deltarune.
Which I still haven't even played yet. I still haven't played Deltarune.
Man, you're in for it.
I need to open my list.
So my number 3 was Undertale. so we'll do my number 2. I'll start it off now.
Go ahead.
So this was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Donkey Kong series, Donkey Kong Country series in general.
Amazing.
I had to pick one.
Yeah.
It was between Donkey Kong Country 2 and Tropical Freeze.
Okay.
The OG in me really wants to pick 2. But Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is my number 2.
It's yeah.
Oh my god, it's mind blowing. Everything
in its entirety.
Everything, like, this is the music that like I want to like to say in the future I'm having a kid and I just want to put like the headphones on, like, you know, the belly of the baby, you know. It's just like listening to this, like, listen to this music. It is so joyful. It is so
this is the world
full of heart.
into.
This is David Wise at his peak. And the best part about it too is just like when you're playing the game, like this game is built around like the platforming. It's all about tempo. It's like the background, like the trees are swinging to the music, like everything's in beat, everything's in tempo, and it just it's so good, man. Like if you've never if you've never played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, play that game. And if you want to listen to the soundtrack first, because maybe just listening to the soundtrack will get you to want to play the game. It's that good. So my number 2 is going to be Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze specifically. It was really hard not to put Donkey Kong Country 2 in there, but that's what I'm going with.
Hell yeah, I like it. And we have different number 2s, which is nice. So my number 2, I mean, I had to include one of the Supergiant games in here. Like, there was no chance in hell that I'm not including one of them. And it was so... Oh, this may have been the hardest decision of my life, was choosing not only this list, but of my life. Yeah, no way. But choosing which Supergiant game to include in this list specifically. And the number two, the one that I went with had to be Bastion.
Mine was Bastion. Or that wasn't my pick, but that was my favorite Supergiant game, and it's like top 10, top 15 for me as well.
100%. Yep. I mean, man, I don't even know where to start. This game itself takes you on a journey, and the soundtrack just follows up like just as well, if not better. The soundtrack has a cool like acoustic vibe to it, but then it adds like this cool like hip hop blend as well. So it's a lot of like up tempo music, and like you were saying before, the music kind of like follows you during each level.
Hmm.
So it starts off like nice, like I was saying, like nice and acoustic, nice and smooth. But as things get hairier and dicier in the game, so does the music, and it really like sets the tone.
That's great.
Darren Korb is a genius, but also a musical genius. Ashley Barrett has the voice of an angel. It was so good, and like seeing the Supergiant concert at PAX East like solidified the fact that these soundtracks, like these Supergiant soundtracks, are just like the peak of video game music. Like they tell a story without saying any words. It's absolutely phenomenal. If anyone hasn't, even if you don't have the time to play them, just listen to the soundtracks. You have Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and Hades. They're all amazing. They're all so good.
Top tier, man. And
top tier.
We actually, you and myself, we actually saw Supergiant live together.
That's the first. Yeah, that's when we met.
That's the first time we got to meet each other and talk. So
it's wild.
Look at that. Everything all started from some Supergiant.
Oh, it's so heartwarming.
Let me hear your number one.
Ooh, so the number one soundtrack is also my favorite game, and that is Shadow of the Colossus. This, I'm not even gonna get into the game because
sure, we'll save that for another time.
We'll save it.
Yeah.
But this soundtrack is all over the place, and it sets the tone for every single moment in the game. It's so haunting, yet in the music alone, it sets the scale for the game. You are this little person with a sword going up against these skyscraper monsters. And if I was just like listening to the music in headphones without knowing anything about this game, I'd be like, shit is going down right now.
Right.
Like, I don't know what is happening. It switches between this soothing, like haunting melody to this like chaotic clash of orchestras in like an instant. And it does it so well. Like in the music and the cutscenes is like also top tier, but man, is it good. Every time I played the remakes and the originals, it just like it absorbs me, and part of it is just because of the music alone. Like I have the special edition on vinyl, and it's just a joy. Like,
oh, that's great.
It's so good.
I got the Cuphead soundtrack on vinyl.
Hell yeah. Cuphead's a good one.
Yeah.
That was definitely, if I had like a long list of honorable mentions, Cuphead would definitely be in there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus, masterpiece. The music in it, top tier masterpiece.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's hear the number one.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Shocker. Oh.
And this has nothing to do with the fact that is my favorite game of all time. Yeah. That soundtrack is a absolute masterpiece. Like I really want to separate the game and the soundtrack for a moment.
Exactly.
It deserves to be separated. I'll never forget the moment, man, when I first played Xenoblade Chronicles and I first stepped on the Gower Plains and I heard that music.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like looked around, and that was the moment. I don't know if I said on the podcast, but I think I did. One of the biggest compliments you can give a video game is when you get engrossed by it, when time doesn't exist, you know, like you don't know what's going on around you. Exactly. And I felt that moment hit me when that music started playing, and I just looked around and like saw everything. I was like, whoa.
100%
like this is a cool game. Yep. And then and it only just gets better and better from there. Everything is orchestrated, everything is so flawless and beautiful. It really helps you get lost in this fantasy world of and you know, like the battle system, the battle music, I should say. Like I said, I want to separate the game and the music. Yep. The battle music is just like, it's so heavy, it's so raw, it makes every battle so enjoyable. The music matches the areas so well too. So when you get to this very you're climbing like a mountain, you're getting to this very atmospheric, you know, beautiful place covered in snow. You know, you're not getting this big upbeat, up-tempo soundtrack. You're getting a beautiful laying low, you know, complementary soundtrack, and just every area is just so unique. And I don't think it's the visuals necessarily that makes every area unique. I think it's the soundtrack that really does it for this game. It is so top tier. If anyone wants to look it up, you can just YouTube Xenoblade OST Orchestra, and you can literally see this masterpiece done by just a couple of 20-25 musical geniuses. And there's like a little video in the background too of just like the areas, like while the orchestra's playing, man. It just gives you the chills.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles is my number one.
I mean, I definitely couldn't agree more. It's a masterpiece. It's so good. And that was one of the considerations for my top 3 too, was Xenoblade. And like playing that game and just listening to that music again, it really was like, wow.
It's very captivating, wow. Man. It's very engrossing. I like since the day I started streaming, like 60% of my pre-stream music was just Xenoblade. And it wasn't just because I was fanboying it. I was doing it because it sets such a good tone, like a ready for adventure, ready for a fun time, or whatever it may be type tone. And it's just it's so good, and I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, the music sets the mood for every single thing that happens in that game.
Absolutely.
Perfectly.
And I believe that is going to conclude episode 3 of Did You Save?